Hi everyone, we are back here at the Invisible Wall podcast show, and today me and my friend Tim Chase we have a fantastic guest. He's a great one, great guy above everything. He's a good friend of mine from a long time, from Arsenal, Invisible time. Edu, how are you, my friend? Everything okay?
Hey, Gilberto Silva, how are you, my friend?
Every,
Pleasure to be here.
Everything fine, my friend. It's great to have you here with me and team. As I spoke to you before, is me and team have done this podcast show for the last past months, and you are our second guest. My first guest was Kleberson, and you are my second and first from the Invincible time. Now he's pushing me just to invite some Arsenal colleagues. I said, calm down. I'm gonna bring a special one to start it, to start it properly with Arsenal. I could not bring anybody else before you. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Gilberto. So it's an unfair question to you because a question not asking for you because we are very close friends. So I knew you're going to choose me. If you don't choose me, I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, Gilberto, you're wrong, my friend. Supposed to be me first one. So, yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much, Gilberto. It's always a pleasure
It'll be in the
to
newspaper.
talk to you.
There'd be big stories in the newspaper. Everyone follows Gilberto Silva on Instagram. It's a big
Yes,
story
that's the one. Yeah.
The hardest thing is because afterwards we could not do barbecue together. I don't know. I need to make a good story afterwards, to tell him and to tell his wife and the kids, and I would have a trouble in my house as well because I'll get a punch from my wife.
So your family's friends then, your wife's friends as well?
Yes,
Exactly.
we're all friends. Yeah, all close friends. Even the children. So yeah, we have a very good, very close relationship. So that's why if you don't ask me or call me to do that, I'm going to call him straight away to say, hey, what about me, my friend?
So it's a political decision.
Yeah.
How's everything? Everything okay? Oh, good.
So far very good. So we are in a challenge situation right now, the way we work, the way we have to behave here. So, but we cannot complain. We cannot complain. I'm saying to my family here, so facing the situation we are now, so we have a healthy family, we have a good condition, we have space in the apartment to walk around. So yeah, we're fine. We're okay.
That's good. No, that's good. I'm sure, that as we have been saying, everyone basically in the world about the moment we are facing tough time. It's a quite tough challenge for everyone in the club, at Arsenal, and for you to manage all the situation.
Yeah.
I've been curious, honestly, how have you dealt with all this situation, my friend? I'm sure it's not been an easy situation.
I'd like to show you what we have around me here, Gilberto, because so many papers, so many things, so many documents, so many things to look after because, normally I have someone next to me. I have a PA. I have another guy which helped me a lot, which Jason, which the guy help to do things, to prepare things to me. But in that situation, I have to do all the things by myself. I have to organize all my emails, all the message, answer all the phones, connect with the players, connect with the staff, with the coach. So all in quite similar same time. But it's a good one because I'm learning a lot. I'm improving a lot. I think my English because all my meetings, everything has to be through by this platform as well. So challenge one, good one, but in the same time it's not easy because we have so many responsibility in the club, so many important decisions to make, and not being face to face to people, don't be next to the people, connect with the people is a challenge one because the way I like to work, as you know me, I like people, I like to connect, I like the people feeling what I try to say, the way I want to connect with them. you know, to deliver properly all the information what I have. So, but as I said, so far good. Yeah, let's move forward, because we cannot stop, and club like Arsenal cannot stop at all.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Mikel starting just his job not long before the lockdown with everybody, and obviously getting it as well. So it's tough for him, right?
Yes, it is tough, but he's doing an amazing job. Since he arrived here, he started to put some his ideas. He started to connect with the players like straight away. And when COVID arrived in our lives, so he just changed the way he started to work, and he makes a lot of improvements, and the way, of course, to coach the players. And he surprised me a lot, because since we started there, he was so prepared to this situation as well, because he started to connect with the players, send the players some information, and share the technical view, the tactical view. So a lot of things which the players started to enjoy as well. So he didn't stop, because of course he couldn't, but he found a very nice way to work and to connect properly to the players. So that's so far make me feel so proud, because the decision to choose Mikel wasn't easy, you know, because as you know, in Arsenal, I think in the story of Arsenal, we never changed the coach during the season. I think they did just once in the past, and the people internally is not used to it, as we have experience in Brazil, because nobody in Brazil do that a lot, unfortunately. But here the club wasn't prepared to that. But so far he's been so great. So I'm happy to be part of his choice, and I'm sure he's enjoying as well. I'm pretty sure he's really happy right now.
Brilliant. So he goes back to training.
Yes. We was the first one, to be fair, to start training, not start training, but to start to give the opportunity to the players start training almost properly, because we have by the government here, as you guys know, the lockdown, which allowed people to go 1 hour to exercise outside home. So, but I faced the situation which I was in the park with my son, and I saw 2 players of our squad running around the park, and I felt then uncomfortable, and I see the situation is not the best one to player like them, big names, you know, people watching them, take a photo, filming them, and they wasn't uncomfortable. And in that moment, I started to realize how important to try to provide them a good environment to start almost running or almost do something outside home. And then I spoke to the club to try to give in them like the training grounds as a private park. So of course we cannot propose their training, but the way they are doing to go to the park to exercise will be the same way which they are go to the training ground, you know. So, and then the club understand the situation, and we provide the players that kind of situation as well, to provide them to go to training, to go to coning. So they choose the time, they have no Arsenal clothes, like a private park, you know. And that worked very well, and the player was so comfortable, the players was enjoying, because to be there, to be in the place which they are used to be. So we started like that, and after a week or 10 days, they allowed us to start training. So, and now we are quite training as a group. We training as almost normal. So with some, of course, some rules to follow, but yeah, we are there in Coney, and I feel a good energy from the players from there.
Excellent.
Step by step, you know, it seems like players are getting back. You know, I've seen some picture of them, you know, look very happy going back training. I'm sure for them, I think it was a very good sense from you guys, to bring the players, to do kind of a private park for them at London Pony, because they could be there, do their walking or whatever without nobody pay notice of them, or to have a private place. It was very intelligent.
Yeah, but to be fair as well, Gilberto, was because the rules, as everybody knows, was so straight. Yeah. So even the players to go out to a public park, people will go into asking them for photo or to signing things, and then they're going to break the rules, the social distance. And if the players say no to people are going to say they are rude guys. Yeah. And that's why I started thinking about that kind of things, and then we choose that. So that was a good start since we properly start training.
Fantastic. How have you enjoyed your new rule out after many years, return to us, our beloved club, because we spend a fantastic time there, and come back to this rule, it's I think you are the first Arsenal sports director. I don't know if it's the whole era, but from ARSÈNE Wenger, never had any sports director.
He was the sports director.
And it's amazing, how have you feeling? How it's been the feeling of return to the club, doing this role now?
So I'm feeling great. It's a big challenge of my new career. So I've been doing that since 2011 in Corinthians. So that was amazing experience for me. Like I say, Corinthians to me, in that role, what I'm doing now, it was like a university, So you go to Corinthians, you learn a lot about everything. So that's prepared me a lot to jump to the Brazil international team. And then when you go to Brazil international team, as you know, a lot, so it's not easy place to be. And I think we did quite well there. And that made me feel really prepared to make that jump to Arsenal, because to be the first technical directors, to be in the club which never faced that situation, people not used to it. So it's a challenge one, but beautiful. So I'm enjoying a lot. I'm sure people is enjoying as well my role here, because I take a lot of responsibility with the coach. So the model of the club to be fair to you guys is a pretty new, because I was the last piece of the new model, because there was planning to have a technical director a long time ago, but they didn't really make the decision. They did really was clear to choose someone, and then we have a meeting and we discuss a lot of things, and then they sign me, and they prepare myself to say that Edu, the club, has to be prepared to you. The club has to be used to what you want to do, but you have to be patient as well, because people normally they don't know how to treat the technical director, or how the responsibilities of the technical director, because it's so long time with nobody, or no long time, but never. So that's why it's a challenge one, nice one, challenge, but beautiful.
So do you work quite closely with Mikel?
Very close. And I think my role and any technical director's role has to be close to the coach. And if you're not close to the coach, it's very difficult to manage all the information, to sign in players, to keep players, to loan players. So, and you have to be close. And the most important thing as well has to be, you have to think quite similar, in the quite similar way. The way you see football, the way you want to provide football, the way you want to build the squad. Because if you have a different views, that would be difficult to manage the situations.
Yeah, you've got to be painting the same picture, haven't you?
Yes, imagine, I don't know if I have in my mind, because of course I have to build a squad to the very short periods, medium periods, and long periods. So, and the coach normally has to look for the very short periods because they need to win a games. Yeah. But at the same time, have to look in the very long periods. So, but the decision has to be made by short and long. Mm-hmm. But if we don't connect well, that will be difficult to choose the right players, to choose the right system, the way we want to play. So that's start to be a big mess between both. So far been so great because we have a quite similar philosophy, and that's why we've been until now well connected.
That's it. You know, having this rule at Arsenal and Corinthians, you know, two plays, first thing you learn is how to deal with your big pressure.
How you manage pressure?
How manage pressure, expectation, big expectation on the fans. You know, here in Brazil, work at Corinthians. You know, I can imagine it's not been easy, especially when you lose a game. But now you are back in a football club at Arsenal after experience a very good time with Brazil national team as a sports director. What's the difference between work for the national team and for a football club? Now, tell us about.
Good question.
Yes, listen.
I want to learn as well.
No, the main one is the easiest one. For the international team, you just pick up the best one and put in your team.
Yeah.
In the club, you have to buy. So sometimes you cannot buy the best ones. Yeah. And then you have to be clever enough to understand how you build the squad, the system you're gonna play, the characteristics of the players you wanna choose for your system, or of course for the coach system. And that is an important ones to thinking about. But in Brazil, you have to manage a lot of egos. You have to manage a lot of expectation as well. You have to be very well organized, because when you select the players to go to the games or the friendly games or the competition, of course the players has to feel comfortable, happy, and has to see all the environment prepared to them and make they feel really, really prepared and you feel really good. And then they can play like you know. So play properly and feel happy to be wearing a yellow shirt. In Brazil, of course, you don't need to sign nobody. You don't have to, you just choose a player. But in this kind of situation in the club, so the main point for me is to identify our squad balance. So you have to see where you are as a squad. You have to make sure which system the coach really wants to play, and his philosophy is important as well to understand. And then when you get, his system, his philosophy, is much easier to choose a players to sign, because sometimes I can feel or I can thinking about a very good players to sign, but it doesn't fix to the system or to the coach or to the characteristic for the coach. So that's the most important. You have to be inside the mind of the coach, try to learn or try to get all the information to choose the right players and the right guys to be in the team. And then you start to create a good atmosphere. Everybody starts to be comfortable in the team. Everybody has start to be happy. So, and then the results normally will come for sure.
Do you, when you're looking to sign new players, do you look at the personality of them as well? Like the personality?
Sure. Yeah, sure. What I do normally, of course, when it's possible, because normally it's not possible, but you have to interview the players. You have to talk to the players. You have to see their minds or see the people around the player. Try to see the family. Try to see the backgrounds. All the information, what you have around the player, not only the technical view, even sometimes I go to the news to see on the past of the players if they have any injury, any problem, outside the normal life. So we see almost everything to choose, because as you guys know, in the football now, to sign a player is not cheap anymore. So it's a lot of money to invest, and if you want to invest a lot of money, you have to be careful, because you cannot take a mistake.
Exactly. Just to let you know, on the podcast 3 weeks ago, Gilberto rated himself at £80 million.
Oh.
You know why? You know why? Because my position, your position, the position we played, you know, there are not many players. This was because I pushed our price right. You know, I'll push it high.
But you're right, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, this isn't an interview. They're not going to. Eddie's not going to sign you. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know. But you know, the good thing now I can put the price in on my own.
Exactly. Yeah, 150. Why not?
That's good. Oh, fantastic. Let's go back a little bit more. You know, tell us a little bit, you know, how was your beginning at the Corinthians? You know, I think Corinthians hold a big part of your heart as well, you know, where you start, you know, the best friend you've got, you know, how was it, you know? Because when we spoke a few times about Corinthians, I always felt, you know, your eyes, you know, in your eyes, the love inside your heart, the way you speak about the club, the way you speak about the fans, you know, I'm sure you have a lot of good memories from that.
Yes, and you have to be grateful for the moments what I have there, because I almost born in Corinthians, Gilberto. So I started in Corinthians like with 5 years old, playing football. So I went to the first team with 17, 18 years old. And my first professional game was in Corinthians. So I have important titles in Corinthians as well as a player. So the fans in Corinthians respect me a lot, because I was the player since, you know, from the academy to the first team, win titles. And I am Corintiano, so my family is
local.
Yes, all locals. So all my family. And of course, you build inside the club something special, because to play there, to born there, you know everybody in the club. You know, when you go to the club, you know, for the secretary to the president, and everybody became your friends, and then you start to be properly at home. But I have one very peculiar situation, which Corinthians showed me a lot of respect, because when I was 14 years old, I have a problem in my leg, which I couldn't really walk for almost 1 year. And at that period, I have a good opportunity to go to private hospital, private doctors. So as you know, as you have a normal life, but Corinthians was amazing with me in that moment. They support me. I wasn't a professional football player. And that they support me and my family as a, you know, a proper football player. They put me in the first team, talk to the doctors for the first team, physios for the first team. They helped me to go to the hospital, private hospitals. So they really look after me. So since there, I was in love with the club, but I feel even more because the way they treat me in that, you know, difficult circumstances, that show how nice they was. So that's why my eyes sometimes, you know, shining when I'm talking about Corinthians, because I remember that kind of situation. Because to be fair, when everything's well, you playing, you write, you play well, so everybody wants to look after you and blah blah blah. But when you are 14, 15, nobody knows if you're going to be footballer or no, if you have a future or no in the club. They don't really care about that moment. So they really get me as a proper football player. They look after me. So that's why I really appreciate what they did. And that's why I always, when I have opportunity, I have to say good words about Corinthians, because it was amazing started.
It's like a part of the family. You know, because this is how they treat you. At this time, were you scared of, oh my God, what's going on with me? I'm going to have like a normal life. I'm going to play football again.
Yes, to be fair, I was 14 and I didn't really realize what was happening with me. I was in the bed, you know, almost a year without walking. You know, my body composition was quite strange, but I don't realize. I just remember my mom, my dad, my brother sometimes crying next to me. My friends, which went many times to visit me, was looking to me as a strange people, you know. And that's why I started to realize how bad I was. But in my mind, internally, I always say, no, I'm going to be okay. You know, I'll be fine. But because maybe I was, you know, too young to understand how serious will be it.
Yeah. No, but it was the good thing, you know, that football and life provides, because after this, you know, if I remember quite well, you have your debut at the professional team quite young, between, you know, many good players, you know, some good guys, like I want to, you know, you're gonna tell us, you know, it's better than me.
No, was amazing, yeah, because that situation happened like when I was 14 to 15, and then I started to recovery, and then things started to happen like very fast in my life. I started to running again, play again, and then I remember playing a game, and after the game, I remember someone called me to sign me to go to Mexico, and I said, no, why Mexico? And then Corinthians called me to sign a professional contract because they don't want to lose me as a footballer. And after that, I went into the first team just to training, you know, being selected by the first team coach, but not choosing, but just selected. I need some 4 or 5 players from the academy to go there. I was inside the 4 or 5, and then I did well, and then they keep me there. So my career was like, woof, like.
Who was the manager?
The manager was Luxemburgo.
Wow.
Luxemburgo, and then he kept me in the first team, and then in the Campeonato Paulista was my debut with next to Edmundo, Gamarra, Ricardinho, Marcelinho. So it was an amazing team to be with.
Rincon was there? Rincon was there?
Rincon arrived after that in 1998, and I was away with the first team. And that was amazing to be part of that squad, because in 1998, I think was the greatest team in Corinthians ever. So if you compare just that team with 2011 and 2015, maybe, probably. But the team was unbelievable. Rincon, Marcelinho, Vampeta, Luizão, Edilson, Gida.
Wow.
Was a great. So to be part of this group was amazing.
Great start. How old were you?
I was
17?
I was 17 to 18, my debut. Yeah. In Brazil, you know, it's not easy. So thanks to Luxemburgo to give me the opportunity.
Now, especially in this squad, you know, to this squad of players, you know, big names, big team like Corinthians, where the pressure is massive, you know, for a young player like you were by the time, was something very, very unique and very special in a life of a football player.
Yeah, as you know, of course, you know, Gilberto, how important it is when you are with a big squad, big names around you when you are young, and if you're clever enough to learn with that guys, it's amazing. So sometimes I say, in my career, I have a very good luck, because for the beginning, the squad what I started in Corinthians was amazing. So important players, so good players, and so good men as well to help me to grow as a person, as a footballer. And of course, and I took all the experience of the guys. I took all the information, what they sent to me. I was looking today the way they train. So, and then of course, with your talents, and then you start to put something inside as well, and then you start to grow to be part properly of the group.
Great. So tell us, what is your, you know, what you have learned with those, you know, because you were very young, you have a tough time before you start playing for Corinthians. By now, as I have seen, you haven't played, you know, in all your career you just had three clubs. Corinthians, Arsenal, then Valencia, and then we went back to Corinthians. Before go to Arsenal, what have you learned at Corinthians? What the lessons you have? Tell us about, that was really important for you when you moved to Arsenal, to bring your old things you've learned. Tell us.
I learned because Corinthians, if you not have that, so play in Corinthians, you cannot play. So if you're tough, you're strong, you can play for Corinthians. If you're weak, you cannot play for Corinthians at all. So that was my first learning, because I remember a situation when Rincon was sold to Santos. And then in that time it was Osvaldo de Oliveira was the coach, and everybody was talking about Rincon because Rincon was the most important players in the group. And then they said, let's sign someone, let's find some players. And then they Osvaldo de Oliveira said to me, no, it'll be you. I don't going to sign no one. You're going to be the man. You're going to replace Rincon. And then I remember that moment to say, okay, leave it to me. So I have to be tough, I have to be strong, I have to get all my personality and start to play. Because if I start to be a little bit shy, I don't know, maybe, and blah, 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 they eat you. Brazil, the press in Brazil, the fans, what we have in Corinthians, every team in which you're going to play against Corinthians wants to beat Corinthians. So that's why I'll say, okay, let's go. Let's be tough. Let's start well. And then that was my first learning properly, because, as I said, Corinthians is like that.
Yeah. Making, decision of take the responsibility was really important for start, properly at Corinthians and move on later on for the next level.
It was the same. When I signed for Arsenal. Because when I arrived here as a player, if you look around the team, the squad, I have the same feeling. So, come on, I am 21. The guys, it's very experienced. The guys is a big names. But if they sign me for some reason. But I have to be tough here, or they're going to eat me again. So no, I say no. Let's be the way I am. And try to learn, play, and, try to be best footballer as possible.
How did you find, when before you arrived at Arsenal, okay, I have a chance to go to Europe now. How was it, because I remember grew up in Brazil, played for my first club, American Mineiro. Me and my colleagues, we had a dream, like most Brazilian football players. Oh, one day I want to play in Europe. Then Arsenal came to bring you to England. How was the feeling?
Yes, it was a brilliance, because I remember us today. I have a first meeting in hotel with a guy which was representing ARSÈNE Wenger and the club at that moment. And I was with my agent in the time, my father and my brother in the meeting. And I didn't know about Arsenal. I just went to the meeting because they tried to surprise me, And then I went to the dinner, and the first words what I heard for the guys, they said to me, "You want to play for Arsenal?" And I looked to my dad and to my brother, and I said, yes. Why? Because it's so strange, so strange question to ask you for. Just started. I said, of course, it will be a pleasure. And the guy said to me, okay, you are signed because we're going to sign you. Because I want to listen from you if you want to play for Arsenal. And I said, you have some doubts about it? So everybody wants to play for Arsenal. Why not? They said, no, it's important to listen to you. And I said, yes. So, and then after that, straight away after that, and to be fair, I didn't really knew about all the squads. I knew about Arsenal, but I didn't really properly understand the squads. And then we start to talking about the squad players, Patrick, Cherry, Dennis, Martin Kew, Lynn Dixon, David Seaman. I said, whoa, that would be fantastic. It would be fantastic. And there'll be a big jump. As I did now in my role, you know, I did the same time and as a footballer. So, yeah, and thanks God, everything went well so far, yeah.
I have played alongside such a big guys, you know, like Patrick. We know him well. I think you had Tony Adams as well as a captain.
Tony was a captain, yeah.
Yes.
Tony, Dixon, Martin Keown, so all that guys. So yeah, it was a pleasure as well. Again, you see, to start it in Arsenal with these guys was amazing for me. Was amazing because they really helped me. They really take care of me. So they've always been talking to me. So again, it's important to have guys like this in the squad to, you know, to take the guy behind, you know. And that's why I say sometimes I'm like guy to have so important guys around me in my career.
Was there one person that really helped you settle in?
Yes, my first 6 months was Silvinho, because Silvinho was here as my teammate. So he took me like a brother, you know, because the change, it's a massive one, you know, to play in Brazil and to play in England. You change almost everything. The way you play football, the pace of the game, the referees, the lifestyle. So everything changed. So you need help. You need help to adapt and to understand. And Silvinho was the one which helped me a lot.
Because Gilberto said you were that man for him. He always speaks fondly about you, how you helped him settle in. And his first training session, was it that Keown broke the reserve keeper's arm? And you asked...
No, it was later on. No, Keown, I still hear Martin here. He's still here. I still hear Martin Keown call, Gilberto, drop.
And I think still my favourite story from Giba is that his first game was the Community Shield, and he didn't know it was. He thought it was just a friendly. He couldn't understand why he came off the bench, scored a goal. The crowd went mental, and he was given a trophy at the end of it. He thought it was just a friendly. This game in England's crazy. Did you not know that?
I don't know if you remember. You know, when I arrived at Arsenal, I met you guys in Austria. You were there. You were, you know, very. You know, you welcomed me in the Arsenal camp. And we spent, I don't know how many days there. I don't know if it was 1 week, 10 days or 2 weeks. After we went to play against Liverpool at Millennium Stadium. I remember I asked you, Edu, where you go now? Oh, we go to a game. But that's it. I didn't ask any more questions about the game. Who was? I remember asking you who was going to be the opponent, and then you said, "Oh, Liverpool. Oh, nice. Looks like a good game." And then we arrived in the stadium. You know, just came off the bench, and you know, fortunately, I scored the winning goal. Was fantastic. You know, I came out, you know, score, make a part, dancing, good celebration with the guys. After the game, just came a trophy. I don't know. I think I asked you. I don't know if you're gonna remember that. I say, what's going on here? Yeah, we won to have a trophy, you know, it's the Cali Cup. Community Shield. I didn't know that.
Gilberto thought it was a pre-season friendly.
That was a nice one. Nice one. Very important start for Gilberto, of course, to start the way he started, you know, but he arrived World Cup winner, so it's impossible to start, you know, in the bad way. So it's impossible.
So how was Gilberto when he first sort of started there? Obviously, essentially that when you helped him settle in. How was he when he pretend he's act like he's not on the call? Give some some funny stories. Go for it.
No, but listen, if people really know Gilberto was the same guy when he was playing for Brazil. Play for Arsenal, win titles, interview, talking. He's the same guy.
Yeah.
What you see Gilberto here is Gilberto on the field, is Gilberto with the family. It's He's an amazing guy, amazing guy. It's always the same. He never changed. He always has a way to talk, very polite. So this is Gilberto. That's why he's our legend here.
Yeah,
and everybody has a beautiful memory, not as only as a footballer, because this is without question, but as a person. That's a really appreciated, because we really have a good relationship, and it's nice to know how people in ARSÈNE respect him, not only as a footballer but as a person as well. So that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone you speak to, I've spoken to, kind of on behalf of Gilberto, who's introduced me to, has nothing but nice things to say. It's really disappointing, because I want to give him some shit sometimes, but no one says anything bad to say about it. It's really disappointing.
No, but it's great, because arriving at Arsenal, I always tell everyone, for me, my adaptation was much easier having you there, and the way you welcomed me, treat me as a big brother, as a big brother, took me, showed me the city, feed me in his house many times. Now I want to go every day, have some nice food. The beginning was fantastic. But I always tell how important it was for me, having you there, how made impact, not only about the game, about football, but especially about life. Because when people ask me about you, I ask him, who do you want me to talk about? The player, I guess but about the guy, because the guy is here. About the player, you can find some information, but I can give you a lot of information. But it's a complement of everything: the professional, the family guy, the big brother, and also what I tell people, when we mention about the guys you mentioned, like Toniadas, Dave Seaman, the other guys, how important it was for us to adapt to the English game, having those English guys in the dressing room, how important to them for us. To the team, to the us, fantastic as well. I always, have Martin Keown in the back of my mind, because he, he's such a nice guy, but helped us a lot to understand how in football works.
Doesn't come across as a nice guy on the football pitch, I tell you.
No, but Gilberto, there is one point as well that I think helped us a lot. Of course, all the guys was amazing, important, but there is something we have to remember always, because the way Arsène Wenger wants to play football help us a lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if the style we play football as a Brazilian likes to get the ball, likes to pass, create chance or whatever. If you go for a team which, a proper English team in our time, go forward, fight for second ball and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you can adapt as we did. And ARSÈNE has a very important, of course, part on it, because the way he wants to play football, the way he builds the teams, the way he wants to propose the games and the match. So that's helped us for our style of the game. So you are a very technical guy. Of course, you're strong, but you wants the ball. You wants to play with the ball. You wants to keep and create things. So as me, as Patrick, as Pires, as almost everybody in our team. So that was important part as well for our adaptation, because as I said, imagine if you go for a team which play long balls and fights. I don't know if you'll be in our proper style, So of course, all the things to be successful is important: players, technical, environment, mentality, and I think we have in that time.
Yeah, this is what I tell people as well. ARSÈNE was very important to build up, the style, but find the players that could play on that style, and also the personalities as well. The winning mentality. Everyone very focused in what we want to achieve, and I always tell them how hard was the training session.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Tell us a little bit how. Yeah. In the other day, I read something from Lauren. He said that I told him at some point that everyone was crazy in the training session. Everyone kicking everyone, but it was amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, when you arrived, Nelson Vivo was here, Gilberto?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, because when I arrived here, Nelson Vivas was a right back, and he was very close friend of Silvinho. And of course, one right back and one left back. And in the training, sometimes they have to play against because they have to confront each other. And I was looking then training, they were almost fighting, but proper fighting. They was training like a crazy and, pushing each other, go to the floor, with the bad face, looking at it. I said, no, this is not normal. And then after the training, they went to the dressing room, organized a dinner. I said, Silvinho, something's wrong between you two, no? I said, no, we do here. Every training, every time we have to fight because we prepare ourselves and then we prepare our teammates as well. So that's the mentality.
Gilberto said that before in another episode. He said that you'd all call each other out, and if one of you was being lazy for a session, you'll get called out. And he says Jens Lehmann was the one.
Mamma mia. Mamma.
I was not wrong, you see.
Mamma mia, Gilberto. Mamma mia.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Sometimes I had to calm him down.
Was it?
Please, and I'm going to watch for sure.
Was it Patrick Vieira he had to go at? And Vieira was like, "Really?"
Sorry?
I think Gilberto said he tried to shout at Patrick Vieira one training session. Vieira wasn't putting it in hard enough in training, and Gilberto was like, Vieira was like, "You having a go at me?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm having a go at you." He goes, "All right, calm down a little bit. All right, fine." The fact that was your reaction when I said, "Does Jens Lehmann go?" and you went, "Mamma mia," kind of answer the question as well as you could ever answer it.
But listen, there is a beautiful story. One day, I was training as well, and the session was a simple session. Just passing the ball because I don't know if we was tied or ARSÈNE organized an easy session. Just passing and just enjoying the session. And it was training. Nobody was pushing so hard in that period because it was fine and blah, blah, blah. And then Lehmann was shout on me like, Edu, go right, go left, go right, go. I said, what's going on? And I looked back and said, Lehmann, today the session is a little bit quieter. It's let's just enjoy and pass the ball because that's the way you have to train it today. No. Edu, today, tomorrow, after tomorrow, always we have to train hard. Said, okay, but let's talk to the manager because he told me to just pass the ball. But if you start to shout me like a crazy, I cannot train you, my friend. And he started laughing. So he was always like that. Until now, because sometimes he came here to watch games, I always mention that situation and he always laughing about that. And he remembered that time he said to me, Edu, you're Brazilian, I have to push you. Because you are very talented, but I have to be tough.
They're lazy. Brazilian, they're lazy, right?
And not lazy. Come on.
Not here.
Laid back is what I mean. But Gilberto said exactly the same thing. He said he's on everyone all the time. Jens Lehmann is on everyone all the time. And I guess you need that, don't you?
Yeah, he has a, if you understand him properly, he has a proper mentality to be a winner. First of all, he's a German guy, so German guy is tough. Yeah. But his mentality, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Training session, games, always try to win, wants to win, and that's good. That's good for the group of the players. We need that kind of mentality. Pushing. That's sometimes important.
Just every now and then, it'd be nice to be calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes yes.
Sometimes it is. Listen. When people ask me what's the best memories about my time at ARSÈNE, I always struggle. I'm going to throw it to you as well, to see, get, your perception about your time at ARSÈNE as a player. What's the best memories, you recall from your time as a player?
Gilberto, it's unfair when people ask us that, because we have so great memories, so great times, so nice to be together. But I always like to mention something make me feel, not make me feel, I learned a lot with that moment, because I remember when we won the trophy, Gilberto, against Tottenham, we had like 2 or 3 games ahead to play, and I can remember it was 2 or 3 games.
I think four more.
Yeah, four more games to play, and we won the league. Everybody was happy, enjoying. So was everything like a dreams, you know, without losing 1 game. But after that, I remember we have a meeting in the dressing room with ARSÈNE, Wenger, with everybody. Everybody was happy and blah, blah, blah. And then they mentioned, guys, we can make something unbelievable. We can, you know, win the league without lose 1 game, you know, but properly. All games without losing, even if we won something already as our title. And that period, I really realized how strong mentally we was, and I learned that like everything is good, but you can make it even better. You know, we was happy, champion, without losing game, but our group of players and our manager always try to find something more. You know, that's I always keep in my mind. So your situation can be fine, you can be happy, you can be, you know, working properly, but I keep that you can be always be better, you know, working better. Doesn't matter how well you are. Let's go more, let's go more, let's go more. That's I keep in my mind, because that was a beautiful time to turn, you know, our mentality, because we was winner already, and then to play 4 games, you know, as with a good experience and properly to not lose the game was something amazing. I don't know if you remember that, Gilberto, but it was something amazing.
Yeah, and then it was not so easy to keep our focus after, you know, being a champion already. And the last 4 games of the season was quite hard. You know, I think the last game we were close to lose. The last game, oh my God! And every time the newspaper say, "Oh, maybe they are going to lose the next one." Or maybe it's today, or maybe the next. You know, and we kept going, and finally we finished the season without losing a game. It was something very, very unique. One good thing I always remember, you know, I don't know if you had the feeling, but my feeling, especially when we had to play at hybrid was something, you know, magic for me. You know, that cold dressing room and the narrow tunnel. You know, so it was too cold for me. I don't know for you, but for me it was too cold. And listen to Pat Rice all the time. Come on, you have to be ready. Get them. Kick them out.
Don't disappoint them. Don't disappoint them.
Be ready. And throw them out. And but one good feeling I've got, you know, seems like the game, before the game start, we have won the games in the tunnel, shoulder to shoulder. The way the other players look at us in the tunnel, you know, seems like they were looking to a giant, look up like this, you know. And I said, oh, 3 more points to myself. This was the feeling I had. I don't know if you had something similar.
That's for sure. That's for sure. The way they look into ourselves, the way they treat us, you know, when we start the games, you have the feeling. You have the feeling you're going to win the game. So that's have the similar one for sure.
Gilberto, you said you felt like gladiators.
Yeah.
You said you felt like gladiators going to the Colosseum.
Yeah, because people look at us afraid of us.
Yeah. Exactly. What's you know, from our time, it's impossible not talk, you know, as you mentioned him before, about ARSÈNE. What does ARSÈNE, you know, when you look back and say that, wow, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. My phone was calling. Sorry.
All right. You know, talk about ARSÈNE, you know, he was fantastic to all of us. And the way he built things and built the mentality. When you remember him, think about him from your time at Arsenal, what is the best moments come from him, and what things you've learned from your time together with him at ARSÈNE?
So I have a personal situation. As you remember, you know that, Gilberto, when I arrived here, my sister died a week before I just arrived in the team. So, and then again, you know, I have a good people around me to support me, to look after me, and Arsène Wenger was amazing. So he treated me like, you know, like a son. Every time he asked me about my life, every time about my family. He never talked to me about system the game, how I wanna play, how I should play. So we always focus on my personal lifestyle with my family. So that's for me was great. And until now, I take this because I have to treat the players as a person, not only as a footballer. So I have to treat them properly. And then I felt like this with him, and that I learned a lot how to treat the player when they have a bad situation. And another one I remember as well. So he was always inside the field in the training session, always shouting my name as well. We do go left and go right, go back, go left, go right, go back, go right. And I started to be a little bit tired, to be fair. I said, oh, every day, every time, he's asking me to go up front, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there. And I was thinking with myself, oh, next day will be fun. Just me. No, again. And one day I realized he wasn't next to me, you know, shouting like, go left, go right, go left, go right, go left, go right. And I feel strange, say, oh, something's wrong. You know, I was so used to it, I feel something's wrong, something wrong. But I see him next to Ash Nicole doing the same thing. Ash, go left, go right, go right. And, you know, coaching him as me before. And I was, you know, after the session, I went there to play with him because he gave us, you know, the chance to talk to him properly. And I said, what's wrong? You don't talk to me anymore. I said, now because you know how to move, my friends. Now you're okay. So I don't need you to talk to you anymore. Just play football, be focused. Now I have to, you know, look after Ashley Cole. So that was what was nice. That was nice. Two different situations, but two beautiful ones.
Yeah.
It's great that you have this, you know, you understand. And at the moment, it would be easy, you know, for everyone to complain. You know, it's going to shout or shout back. And, you know, when you start to talk about him, you know, I think, oh, maybe he learned with Jens Lehmann or Jens Lehmann learned with him.
I imagine he went nowhere near Jens Lehmann. Actually, he went let Jens Lehmann do whatever Jens Lehmann wanted to do.
Oh, dear. I was tired, to be fair. One day I said, that's not... Yeah, but I understand.
That is him, you know, that is something you've learned with him, you know, in the way the manage Arsenal, that you learn that you can adapt, you know, to your style. You know, learn something and bring, and I remember he did something like this, you know, and it worked quite well. Let me try, let me get what I've learned from him and adapt to my style, learn something and bring to the, you know, the time being, you know, and the way I want to work from now on, or adapt something, new skills, something like this.
As I said, Gilberto, I remember that, you know, how treat people, how treat everybody in the corner, how he's, because he was so famous, so a powerful guy inside the club. And he was so nice with everybody, the way he treats people, the way he managed all the situation, the bad situation, the good situation. He was the same. So that's good to see someone like him, you know, the way he behavior. And that's the way I really look to Arsène, you know. That's the way I really appreciate him.
That's good. No, this remind me when I had an experience in Greece to work for Panathinaikos, and I always, you know, I had the same feeling with another person who was really important in our time, David Dean. The way he always treated us in the dressing room, you know, go inside and shake the hand of everyone, speak to everyone. He always tried to speak to me in Portuguese, just a few words.
Yeah.
But now treating people well, I think is basically the way is like Arsenal as a club, you know, everyone very, very close to each other. And I'm sure, you know, you return to the club to this new rule you had of you in the club after having the experience as a player, understand the culture. It's a lot easier for you, you know, to try to bring, you know, everyone back, you know, to the same spirit, you know, although it's very challenging, but
Yes.
bringing this spirit, you know, back,
Yes,
if I can say that.
Yeah, but Gilberto, if you remember your best moments in your career, always you're going to remember good people around you, not only good footballers.
Yeah.
You know, because this is for me is the most important thing to build a good team. You need a good people around you. Good people around you. That's for me is the most important thing. People has to feel comfortable with you. People has to feel happy. People means players and the staff. Everybody's around our team, you know. And then you start to create a good atmosphere between everybody, and that's you create something positive, you know. As you said, you know, Arsène Wenger was a so nice guy. David Dean was unbelievable. Our team, our squad was so nice guys around. So we enjoyed to be together, you know. We was happy together, you know. We winning game, losing game. We enjoy. We're happy because in the end, we stay most of our life together. So our periods, you know, more than our family. And you have to enjoy. You have to enjoy. So respecting, treat the people properly, and make the people feel comfortable in the team, in the squad, in the club, in the environment. So that's the main point for me. Because if you have that, you know, the footballers can be free to play. So that's the way I think. That's the way I would like to work, and try to bring some kind of that things for the club again.
Yeah, it's like you have, you enjoy being together, have fun, play football, and play football having fun with responsibility.
Yeah, that's the words. That's the words. You know, players has to trust a lot in the manager. Players has to trust a lot in myself. You know, like treat everybody in the same level, and let's go.
That's it. Team?
No, I've just been sitting here listening.
It's a great story. Now we could talk, you know, for a long time. You know, ask a lot of things that I'm curious, and you know, from when you look back, the position you are now at the club, if you could advise the young Edu starting at Corinthians, what would you say to him?
He stole this question from me. I asked him this question earlier. He stole it directly from me.
Today, there is no way to be a footballer without responsibility, without consistency, because it's important. You know, you have to look after yourself. You have to be, as I'm being saying a lot in that interview, a good guy, working hard. So that's no more than that. No more than that. Focus, consistency, responsibility. You know, as I talk to my son, you know, if you want to be a footballer, today is not easy. You know, never been easy, to be fair, but today maybe it's even more difficult. I don't know, because more today is physical games. You know, much more maybe games. So there's a lot of things going on around the players right now. So you have to be focused. You know, your career, be strong, and take the responsibilities, and then be tough.
Play for Corinthians.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as you start with Corinthians. Yeah, no, starting at Corinthians has to be tough. You know, jump from Corinthians, you know, to Arsenal has to be tough, and be tough, you know, to face all the responsibility you had, you know, from Corinthians, national team. We didn't mention Valencia very much because Otherwise, we're going to spend another hour.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of good things, maybe in the next opportunity. But, you know, yeah, I want to close. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk and tell about a little bit about some stories about our time, about your, you know, I was a little bit curious about understanding on your role, you know, but on a very relaxed way to give you, you know, the freedom and to make you feel comfortable. But, by the way, it was fantastic to have you here, too. As you know, my big brother, as you know, as a good friend, it's always amazing when we have an opportunity to be together. Despite the fact we are far from each other now, but it's like we are very close, you know, because of things we build in the right way, especially a good friendship. It doesn't matter where you are. We always have a very good feeling from each other and from the time we spend together at anywhere we were, you know. There was a national team as well. We didn't talk, but maybe for the next opportunity. Thank you very much, my friend.
Part two.
Thank you very much, Gilberto. Your words is my words, my friend, as you know. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, my friend. Regards to the family. Come on, Arsenal.
Good luck for
Come
the
on,
rest of
Arsenal.
Yeah. Great. Fantastic, my friend. Obrigadão. Great team.
Nice one, guys.
Tim.
Thank you so much, sir. Great to talk to you, my
Tim.
friend. Yes.
How was my English? Just to make sure if you understand properly what I tried to say.
Sorry. No, I'm joking.
Thank you. That's enough.
It's perfect. It's perfect, mate.
He pissed me off all the time, dude. Don't worry.
I do that shit with everyone. Don't worry. It's absolutely. It's better than mine. I get told I talk too quick. So yours is absolutely perfect, mate. Pleasure. Really honoured to talk to you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.